My name's Mark Oram, and I'm here for Board of Health updates. Happy New Year. It's a cold day in January today, and we're taping a special segment today. I usually do Board of Health updates, which I'll keep for a separate segment. Today I wanted to invite two people from our town. They've been working, one person works for the town, and the other person actually is a deacon within our town. And they're here to explain a very important event that's going to be happening here in Ashland on Martin Luther King Day. And the first person I'd like to introduce is Jay Cohen. Jay Cohen's the director. Hi, Jay. Jay and I work together, and he's the director of the Youth and Community Service Department. They've been basically at the new community center for about a half year now, and with them we have Deacon Bill Wallace. Deacon Wallace is at the Ashland Federated Church,
Yep.
And they're here, and I'm going to let them do most of the explaining about an event that's coming up, and I'll leave it with first Jay to explain the event and maybe the date and a few things about this event, and then we'll chat a little bit about different things that may be going on at the event.
Okay, great. Well, we're very excited to announce this. This is the first time we've done this, and it's a multicultural festival. The idea is to celebrate all of the different backgrounds and cultures and people that live here in Ashland that make this town a great town to live in. And we're getting together Monday because of Martin Luther King Day. Not only is it school vacation day and a national holiday, but it's a great midwinter time to have a nice family-oriented festival. So we have
Inside, outside?
Yes, it's outside in the freezing cold of the Northeast. We've planned those before. It didn't work.
Just teasing.
Yeah. So this is really a great festival. People hopefully have seen these posters around town. And this is sponsored by the Ashland Interfaith Cultural Council, which Bill is the chairperson of. And we're going to have food and music and dancing, storytelling. It's going to be a great event for the children and families. We really hope that people of all ages will come. It's a free event. It's being sponsored by many local businesses and also through a grant from the Ashland Cultural Council.
And that's January 19th is the
January
actual
19th,
day.
1 o'clock to 5 o'clock at St. Cecilia's Church.
How do you get to St. Cecilia's? I know a lot of people, most people that are watching this are from Ashland, but some may not. You may have, we're going, our family's going, we're from Marlboro. I know it's Route 135, and do you want me to explain? Or?
Well, almost in the center of town. Either if somebody's coming past the post office, they can take the next left-hand turn, and SD Street, where the church is right on the left. If not, if they're coming off of 135, in either direction, if they pass Tasty Treat, they would go about another quarter of a mile, and on the left is SD Street. If not, then if they're coming past Dairy Queen, it's about an eighth of a mile on the right. I was told that everybody in Ashland gives directions by those two restaurants.
They do, actually.
Yeah,
And you'll find the post office is another area that we tend to use as a landmark. Such an event like this, you cannot do it by yourself. I'm sure you had a lot of help from a lot of different people, and you have a guest here today. Maybe you can explain what the interaction was with Bill. Bill's with the Interfaith Council, and then maybe we can have Bill speak a little bit about their input towards this. I think it's going to be
actually, maybe
Bill's
the chairperson of this committee. Maybe this is a great chance for him.
Well, thank you, Jay. Yeah, we're very pleased and excited about this event. Just a very brief sketch of our past history. The Interfaith Council itself is 3 or 4 years old, and started out with a small collection of individuals, Martin Shapiro, Father Sheridan from St. Cecilia's, Pastor Fry from Metro West, and we had wanted to meet and begin an organization and begin to hold some interfaith ecumenical type services, which we did do. We have had, I think, 3 over the past several years. And this year, with Jay's infusion and the grateful participation of many people in organizations here in town and in the area, we are very pleased to present this initial festival of multicultural activities. So that is just a thumbnail sketch of where we've been and where we're coming from. And after this event, we are hoping to step forward on a more frequent but a lower key type of gathering, maybe in people's homes, just to kind of keep this cross-cultural activity going, at least up front and visible.
Yeah, I always found that once you start understanding other faiths, other religions, other nationalities and so forth, it's so much easier to understand some of their cultural aspects and so forth when you see it for real. At this event, I'm sure you're planning some events within the festival. What type of events will be happening during the 1 to 5 period on Monday, January 19th?
It's interesting that you brought that up, Mark, because that was part of our discussion planning this. People seem foreign, or they seem different, and maybe a little bit scary if you don't know them and you don't quite understand what they're doing. And it's very true that once you get to know people that are different from other countries, cultures, religions, faiths, whatever, we're much more alike than different. And we care about our families. We do most of us in the world do the same things. We care about the same things. And so it's really this idea that we can learn a little bit from each other. And so part of our event, we're actually going to be doing some cultural exchanges. So kind of built into this event are some breakout rooms where people can go and they can have a little bit more of a closer dialogue. And we have some activities. One of our members, a woman named Barbara Holland, actually runs trainings for diversity and cultural awareness around this region. And she's a longtime Ashland resident and very dynamic. And so she's going to be the presenter and help to facilitate these kind of cultural exchange times. We have, highlighting everything, of course, is food. And we're going to have some incredible food. We have food from probably about 10 different restaurants in the area. We have Indian food and Chinese food. We have Greek food. We have Italian food. We have Portuguese and Spanish food. We have Middle Eastern and Israeli food. And it's just, we'll have lots of samplings of different types of food from different cultures, and that's going to be really phenomenal. And again, this event is a free event, so people can come and taste these things, and it's not going to be anything.
So when someone drops in, they're not going to need to have money to purchase food at all these different
Absolutely not. This is something,
setups.
Because of our sponsorship and the grants that we've gotten, we're able to offer this for free for the community, and we think that that's one of the things that's very exciting, because that doesn't exclude anyone. People can come and they can have a nice, affordable day here in Ashland. That's something that's very exciting to them. We also have a lot of entertainment, and most of the entertainment is local or from this area, and we have an Irish folk singer, we have a gospel singer, we have some of the international club students from Ashland High School are going to be presenting their version of I Have a Dream speech by Dr. King. We have Portuguese and Spanish folk music. We have
storytelling and all?
Yeah, we have Indian dancing, and we also have, we're going to be doing Israeli dance lessons. So people are actually going to have an opportunity to learn some dance steps and get up and get some exercise and dance.
So it would be perfect. You're not just eating. There'll be activity.
Absolutely.
You're around, and that's age group wise. There may be families out there that say, I don't think our children may have interest, or some other people at a different age group may say, I don't know if this would interest us. Was this set with that in mind to keep all age groups entertained through the festival?
We have arts and crafts tables for young kids. Coloring and mask making. Each of the activities kind of reflects different cultures from around the world, so they'll be able to do a Chinese fan, or lanterns, or pagodas, or Russian matryoshka dolls, or there's out of paper, so they can color and do all kinds of activities that reflect different cultures from around the world. It's really kind of exciting.
And we also have static displays too of ethnic and national clothing and toys, dolls, as well.
Father Mulligan's spears and
spears from Africa, yes. So the program has been fully generated to be as all-encompassing from an age group as possible. So it'll be a very active, very interactive kind of program that we'll be putting on, and we're very pleased with the involvement of, Jay mentioned, the high school students. There's a very heavy awareness of the appeal and having activities for the children as well as the adults.
Yeah, some of the high school students have picked stories, or we're having storytelling opposite of the cultural exchanges. We'll have little half-hour storytelling periods, and these stories are different tales from different cultures from around the world. It's really, we're trying to take into account as many age groups and different ideas and tastes as possible.
Now at St. Cecilia's, I presume this is, I know they've added on to that church in the years past. This is going to be held in the, do they have an auditorium or some kind of a activity room?
It will be in the Family Center,
Family
which
Center.
is next to the rectory. And I just would like to add that these activities are drop-in. Drop-in, drop-out. Families can come and stay for as long as they like or as short as they like. And again, there's no cost. So we're just looking for people to come and enjoy and partake in the program and just become aware.
And Bill, on the Interfaith Council, the brochure here I have says that they're part of this Interfaith Cultural Council. What part of the other faiths putting into this? It sounds like you've gotten together with some other leaders of their different religions out there. Are they participating in the event, or was it you with your own committee? Where does
it's a very broad committee. It's very well represented. We have very strong representative from New England Hindu Temple. We have St. Cecilia's Church and the Metro West Christian Center, the Federated Church. Scotty Romer, our police lieutenant, has been very involved. Both
so
represent.
The community will be participating too then?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
oh,
absolutely,
yes.
absolutely.
Okay. That's good to know.
And the Reformed Jewish congregation also has been very high profile in supporting and being involved with the Interfaith Council.
I think you're going to be very busy on Monday, especially if their churches or their place of worship has noted this in their bulletins, whatever they may note it in. I think you're going to be busy that day.
Well, we hope so. We have lots of food and we have lots of activities, and we can I mean, it's possible that we could get overwhelmed with the number of people. Wouldn't that be a nice problem?
There's never too many, though.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
It's true though that people won't be waiting outside for this.
No.
You've worked that out where there's never too many. You've got different stations, may I say, and so that you can handle larger crowds.
Yeah.
That's great. I heard too, Jay was talking to me about how you're going to handle the food, where you'll put them in these individual cups, so the lines probably that will help too with people wanting to try different foods. They can decide to try an Indian food or Brazilian, or did you say Brazilian food too, and so forth?
Yep.
I hear you're making one of your special desserts that I've had a chance to try, and I really enjoyed it, first time ever. I got to try one of your dishes, and in my culture, I hope next year I can learn how to make a few of the foods. I'm Portuguese, I'm half Portuguese, so I'm hoping next year I can bring something from, I'm hoping you do this every year, by the way, and that I can bring something from my culture. And it's, our culture is as rich as everyone else's, and it's nice to share it so people understand what we do when we go to our club events and so forth. And my mother's side of the family, we are involved with the Portuguese club, so it's nice once in a while, and they do this in Hudson as well as Marlborough. They have these cultural events, and I think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. So we get to know about each other, and to be honest with you, you get to probably not just know, but you get to like different things. I'm going to get that recipe, I think, from Jay pretty soon related to the food, but it's even the dance and the storytelling, I think it's going to be just a great event. I really am very excited for what you have done for this community.
Well, even the food, we want this to really be an enriching, a lot of details. We're doing our best to try to help people to also be educated and learn a little bit about the things that they're doing. So, you know, what we'll have that day is a little placard in front of the food, so they can learn a little bit about that food and the culture that it comes from. This has been, for this year, this has been, we haven't had as much time to plan this as we probably would have liked. Next year we'll have a lot more time, but we think it's going to be a phenomenal event. I can't imagine people wouldn't have a really great time being here.
I think your group started something. I remember when they started like Ashland Day, and all of a sudden it was all the other towns had their own day in the fall. I have a feeling this is going to be an event that will be carried over into other communities. It's a great time of year to get together inside versus outside.
Right.
I give you both of you, a lot of credit for moving this along for our community. I think it's a great idea.
It's been a broad-based effort.
And that's even better. That's,
Yeah,
and
it
that's why I
absolutely
think it's
is.
going to be a great audience that will be there. And I guess I'll have to thank everyone for all the work they put into it when I have my next segment on this. Any other final words on the event? Or?
No, I just want you had mentioned about our logo, and I
Yes.
just wanted to kind of mention that we had a high school student, and we'll actually have T-shirts for sale with this logo. It's actually the only thing that we'll charge for that day. This I don't know if people can see it, but it's the Ashland A in Ashland blue, and it's hands, just kind of holding hands of different colors that are in the A, and the logo, I guess the logo for our group is bringing our town closer together with our different cultures and backgrounds. And a high school student, Sarah Amalfi, developed this for us. And it's really wonderful, and we hope that we'll be seeing this around town for a long time.
Yeah, I did explain to Jay, I was very impressed by that. Sarah did a great job. I give her a lot of credit. I believe it's very powerful. It sends a very powerful message that community is one. You know, it has the Ashland A, which has been Ashland's symbol for years, and now it's incorporated multicultural signals within it. Within the hands, you have the multicultural coming out of it. I think it's a very powerful, but more than that, very, in a way, spiritual to some degree, and community as whole. It really, great job, Sarah. I give her,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
great credit for that. And there'll be T-shirts with that on it. I'll have to buy
Yeah.
one.
Excellent,
Yes.
excellent. Yeah, you know, again, I think that the T-shirts and things like that it's just a way of kind of keeping the message going. It's very easy to run an event, and then the event is over, and carrying that message continuously in our community. You know, this has always been a diverse community. From what I've been talking to people, you know, there's a long culture, long cultural history in Ashland, and that's no different today. And I think that at times we have to just kind of celebrate each other and our neighbors. And this will be a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
That's great. Any final words, Bill, that you may have on the event, or even whatever you'd like to share with us?
Well, just to encourage people to come and participate and explore the wonderful diversity that we have in this community. You know, we're all in this together, so to speak. So.
Great. And if I can
Thank
wrap
you.
up again, thank you both. If I can wrap it up again, I'd just like to say it's on Esty Street, which is off Route 135. If you're lost, look for the post office, go down Summer Street, and take your next left, and you'll be on Esty Street. If you're on 135, which is the marathon route, go by Dairy Queen, another landmark in town. These are true landmarks. Go down towards Hopkinton, and you'll see Esty Street after your next set of lights. And if you need to really if you're lost, still call the police. They'll get you there. They're participating. It's going to be on Martin Luther King Day, which is January 19th of this month, 2004. It's going to be held from 1 to 5. There's plenty of parking. There's parking across the street. They have a gigantic parking
Yeah, it's
lot.
probably 200 spaces
Yeah,
there.
so the parking should not be an issue at all. If it's chilly out, that's okay, because we're going to be inside. There'll be no waiting lines. They've accommodated for that to make sure everyone gets inside, and it just sounds like a great event.
Well, I guess they're projecting the weather to be a very balmy 35 degrees.
Balmy 35. Who would ever expect 35 to be called balmy? When we maybe watch this sometime in the summer, we'll say 35 and balmy. But today we're taping on a day that's probably one of the coldest days of the year, so we're hoping to bring all the warmth inside, and thanks to you to have this event, I think it will bring in a lot of warmth into this community. I want to thank you both again. I want to thank the cable station for allowing us to air this, and I hope to see you again in my monthly updates. My name is Mark Oram with the Board of Health, and I'll be doing Board of Health updates on a monthly basis. And once again, Jay Cohen, Bill Wallace, thank you both very much for allowing me to have you as my scheduled event today.
Thank you for the
Thank you, Mark.
opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome.